students, today we are going to discuss the topic elasticity. Okay, in earlier videos we discussed about the meaning of elasticity, what is price elasticity of demand. So what is elasticity? Elasticity is the degree of change in demand in response to change in open price of the commodity. Okay, so in earlier video we discussed that how we will calculate elasticity of demand. Now we will discuss about the different situation of elasticity of demand. Okay, mainly there is three elasticity of demand. That first is perfectly elastic. Okay, it means the perfectly elastic means demand is perfectly elastic. In this, the demand curve is horizontal or parallel to O-axis. It means if there is slight change in the price, there is more change in the demand. Okay, means if price rise from 4 to 5 rupees, then demands go to 0. Okay, then perfectly inelastic, it means the demand curve is vertical parallel to OY axis, and if there is change in price, then demand do not change. Okay, or demand remains same. There is no effect on the demand, or there is very little effect on the demand. Okay, the next is rectangular hyperbola. In this, the demand curve or elasticity of demand is equal to 1. Okay, means in this we measure this by total expenditure, and the total expenditure remain constant. Whatever the price is increasing or decreasing, that does not matter, but the total expenditure remains same. Okay, so the elasticity is equal to 1. Now we will discuss this situation with the help of diagram. Now we will discuss with the diagram. So first is horizontal demand curve, or we can say perfectly elastic demand. Okay, so here we are taking O-axis and OY axis. Here quantity on O-axis quantity, and on OY axis price. Okay, horizontal, then what will be the shape of demand curve? It is horizontal, will be like this only. Okay, this is our demand curve and this is our price. Okay, so for example, if price is 4 Rs, then demand is unlimited. Okay, if the price increase, okay, from 4 to 5, then demand fall to 0. Okay, then demand will decrease to 0. Okay, perfectly elastic, it is also called perfectly elastic. So in this case, if there is somewhat or very little increase in price, then demand falls to 0. Okay, so at this price, the quantity demanded is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But if price increase, there is slight change in the price increase, then demand to fall 0. Okay, and in this case, when the demand curve is horizontal, the elasticity of demand is equal to infinite. Okay, it is equal to infinite. The next is vertical demand curve. Okay, vertical demand curve, the demand curve will be vertical like this. The same O-axis and OY axis. Here we will take price and here quantity of commodity. Okay, so the demand curve is vertical, it is our DT, and price, for example, if price is 2, then demand is this only. For example, we can take 10 quantity. If price increase 4, then also this. If price increase to 6, then also demand is constant. Okay, so in this case, there is perfectly inelastic. Okay, inelastic demand. Inelastic means there is no effect on the demand due to change in the price of the commodity. If we see this case, in a real situation, then we can say that goods, that necessity of life like salt, okay, salt, we need salt. If whatever the price of the salt, we will purchase obviously toothpaste, these small things that are essential of our life, that should be purchased. If the price of the goods increase, that does not matter, okay. If we see the salt packet was of 5 rupees before 5-10 years, now it is of 30 rupees, we can say, then also we are purchasing, and if will become 100 rupees per packet, then also we will purchase. So there is no effect on demand due to change in the price, and the elasticity of demand is equal to 0, okay, equal to 0, because the price is changing but the demand is not changing. Due to change in price, their demand is constant, okay. It is vertical to parallel to OY axis. There is no effect on the demand due to change in the price. The next we will discuss rectangular hyperbola. Okay. In this, our demand curve will be in the shape of rectangular hyperbola, okay, like this. This is our demand curve. Here on O axis we will take quantity, and on OY axis we will take price, okay. So when the price is P, we can say then quantity purchase is Q, okay. If the price increase from P to P1, quantity purchase decrease Q to Q1, okay. So this point shows the total expenditure, means the area under the rectangular hyperbola demand curve shows total expenditure, because it is showing us P into Q, that what is the price and the quantity purchased. So it is P into Q, okay, the quantity purchased, whatever the price. So it's showing the total expenditure. Then the total expenditure in this demand curve remain constant, and if the price increase, then quantity demanded decrease, and if price decrease, then it is increasing, okay. We can say the total expenditure is constant. So the Dr. Marshall called this situation that the elasticity of demand is equal to 1, or we can say this is the situation of unitary elastic demand. Elasticity of demand is equal to 1, okay, because the expenditure remain constant. For example, we expenditure of 100 rupees, okay, and if the price of apple is 50 rupees per kg, then we are taking 2 kg, and if the price increase and it become 100 rupees per kg, then of 100 rupees we are taking 1 kg. So our total expenditure is constant, because here also we are spending 100 rupees, and here also we are if the price increase, we decrease quantity, but our total expenditure remain constant, okay. Whatever the price, that does not matter, but total expenditure is constant, and all the area under this demand curve, rectangular hyperbola demand curve, shows total expenditure, that is equal to P into Q. If we multiply price into quantity, then we get the total expenditure. And this situation by famous economist Dr. Marshall called unitary elastic demand, okay. So these are the different situation of elasticity of demand, okay. Watch the video and practice diagram in your notebook again and again, then only you will be able to clear this concept. If any doubt, any query, you are free to ask. Thank you, students.